his family know, hey, I heard that your dad had died, and I want you to know that even though I can't be there for the funeral, I'm thinking of you and praying for you. And so that to me was just a real learning of, even though I'm away, I'm still.
Danny Deslitz, there's just places loaded with Hopkins people up at Moosehead.
Through the chair, you're live on HCAM TV.
Okay.
All right, no more having fun.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I call this meeting to order. As a preliminary matter, this is Irfan Nasrullah, Select Board Chair. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Amy Ritterbush?
Ritterbush here.
Brendan Tedstone?
Headstone affirmative.
Mary Jo Lafreniere?
Mary Jo Lafreniere here.
Muriel Kramer?
Kramer here.
Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Norman Kamalu?
Here.
Elaine Lazarus?
Here.
This open meeting of the Hopkinton Select Board is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 22 of the Acts of 2022. For this meeting, the Select Board is convening by video conference via Zoom, as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Additionally, the meeting may be broadcast by HCAM through one or many of its channels or platforms. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that others may be able to see you, and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. Each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. All supporting materials that have been provided to the members of this body are available on the town's website via the web meeting calendar, unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. School committee vacancies. Two members of the school committee have unexpectedly and suddenly resigned, and this has created a circumstance that requires immediate attention by the select board due to the scheduling required for the annual town election. We're grateful to both members for the time that they have dedicated and contributions they made in support of our Hopkinton Public Schools. The members of our school committee play a crucial role in our community by planning for the future of our schools and ensuring that the district is well positioned to serve Hopkinton students and educators. This is especially important during the past couple of years as we have navigated the pandemic, and would like to recognize their dedication and contributions. We also thank them for their contributions for developing the fiscal year 23 budget and the Elmwood Elementary School feasibility study. Feasibility application to the MSBA, sorry. Rather than the town appointing temporary replacements to fill the vacant seats, we're considering placing the seats on the ballot for the spring town election. The school committee represents everyone in the community, and it is important to give voters the opportunity to have their voices heard and be a part of the future of the Hopkinton School Committee. For there to be an election, there must be two candidates to run for these seats. We encourage any individuals who are passionate about the future of our schools and the success of our students and educators to consider running to fill a vacant seat. The eligibility requirements for declaring an intent to run for the school committee will be available on the town's website. Board members, what are your thoughts on this matter? Amy Ritterbush?
Yeah, I'm glad that we were able to get this emergency meeting in so that we could potentially put these on the ballot, because I do think the general public would like to have everyone would like to have a vote and how these seats are filled. So I'm glad that we were able to meet the tight time frame. And if we were to appoint people, it seems like we'd have to post that for a certain number of days. And by the time we did that, people would have already turned in their nomination papers. So I do think that it would be a good idea to put these on the ballot for 2022.
Great. Thank you. Chairman Emeritus Tedstone.
So I feel like no matter what, we're going to have to appoint two people regardless. But I feel that it should go to the voters. I mean, it has to go to the voters regardless. But I'm glad that we're able to get it on this election rather than have and appointed 2 members until the 2023 election. So I think it's important. The timing was perfect that we were able to have this meeting and to get it potentially on the ballot for this year.
Excellent, thank you. Mary Jo Lafreniere.
Oh, I agree totally. I like to see a full school board. And I think that to get them on this election is the right thing to do.
Thank you. And Muriel Kramer?
Yeah, I am in agreement totally. I really appreciate particularly professional staff who made this possible, and the school committee also, the remaining members who acted quickly as well to make sure that we can put this on the ballot. I do want to invite people to reach out to experienced elected officials on process, because it's a really quick turnaround. If we put these on the ballot, it's a quick turnaround to get papers and get them signed and returned, and or connect with the caucuses that are upcoming. So I just want to encourage people who are interested to make sure they find out about the process as quickly as possible, like this week. And I appreciate the opportunity to take the vote to put these on the ballot. I think that that's really important. I did have a question though, whether the school committee, if we know, asked us to post the positions for the remainder of this year for appointment, or if we're not doing that. I mean, I'm in favor of the ballot going forward 100%. I just had a question about the remainder of this year, if there's been any decision on that.
I do not know. Ms. Kamalo or Ms. Lazarus, do you have any input on
And
that?
there's two people that may
Sorry?
be able to answer this with their hands up too, Connor and the school committee chair.
All right, I do see 2 hands up. So Connor Deegan, I see your hand is up. Can we liven Connor up? Connor, you're on. Is he still here? Well, he seems to have disappeared from my participants page. Oh, there he is.
No, there he is.
Connor, you're up.
Yeah, I just had to join as a panelist.
Okay, here.
So all I was going to mention was when we discussed this, at first, when we were getting the school committee ready, we didn't know what the timeline was. We were still working with council to figure that out. Now we know that we can get it on the ballot. So the school committee making sure that it's able to be appointed doesn't necessarily mean that the 2 elected boards have to take action on it. That would be up to the select board and the school committee to decide on. The one thing, of course, is always to be cautious when it comes to if people are pulling nomination papers. We don't want to make it look like we're appointing someone to fill a vacancy that can wait a couple months potentially, and instead make it look like we've endorsed a candidate in a potentially contested race. So I think we did the school committee announcement for the vacancy as kind of a safety net in case no one did decide to run, then at least we'd know that we'd be able to appoint someone to help serve, or if one position was uncontested, they could potentially be able to step in and help out with school committee duties. But it's right now it's kind of just a safety net.
And I also see that Nancy Kavanaugh also has her hand raised. Could we liven her up?
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
So I just wanted to say that the school committee did not take a position or request in any way for the select board to put this out as an appointed position. We merely met to clear the way so that the positions could be filled in a way that's determined to be the best. A number of people, I think, have expressed a hope that this would be able to be put out for the voters to make a decision at least in May. So just wanted to clarify that we did not discuss appointments.
Thank you. So, so my thoughts on this really echo what the board has said. I think that I'm glad that we're able to bring this up. I think it's up to the people to decide and not really something for us to appoint if we have that option for a vote. So I'm extremely pleased that we're able to get this on the ballot if that's what we decide. So with that, I'm going to request.
Mr. Chair.
Oh, yes,
Mr.
Mr. Kamalo, please.
If I may, since we have Connor mic'd up, with your permission, Connor, in our discussion yesterday, you came up with a 6-point plan that the public may need to be aware of should the board vote to post the 2 positions as part of the next election. Again, I thought it was very helpful for me. It may be helpful for the public as well. If you don't have that in front of you, I do have it in front of me. I can read it out for the public.
I do if the chair would care for me to share.
Okay. Please, I would love it if you would share.
So what we had kind of established just for timelines as an educational piece for voters and anyone interested in the position is that based on the vote today, if it's an affirmative vote to put it on the ballot, then starting Monday, any registered voter can appear in person to declare their intent to run. They must declare which seat they intend to run for, because there will be 3 school committee seats open. There will be the 3-year that is currently already contested and on the ballot, but there will then now be the 2-year and the 1-year as well. So it'll be very important that it's clear which one they're running for. The candidate must collect at least 50 signatures of registered voters and return it to the clerk's office for verification and certification. And they have to be returned here by 5 p.m. on Monday, March 28th, if they wish to qualify. If they don't get 50 signatures in that period, there is still, at least in Hopkinton, we have the political party caucuses that'll be the week after the deadline for nomination papers. I think only one is set at the moment, but the other I think is still planned just for the day before. So anyone who has any questions on it or is considering running or wants to know some of the details on it should really not hesitate to reach out to my office. We're more than happy to walk through everything from campaign finance to what you do to make sure that your signatures are all going to be good to go. So if anyone does need to have any questions or wants to inquire about the process, they should just give me a call or shoot me an email.
Thank you. I think that's very helpful for the public to hear. Really appreciate that. So with that, I'm going to request a motion.
Chair, can I say one thing too?
Of course.
Just through you, Mr. Chair, for anybody who is new to the process and chooses to collect signatures, it is always helpful to collect in excess of those 50 because they have to be certified by the town clerk. And sometimes it happens that some of them aren't able to be certified and count towards the total. So always get at least 5 or 10 in excess of the 50. Thanks.
Thank you. Good point. That's definitely worth mentioning.
Through the chair, I did just have one other question.
Please, Ms.
I
Rinbush.
think the town clerk can confirm, but for an elected position, the person has to be a citizen and registered voter, correct? Whereas a lot of our appointed positions do not.
Yes, through the chair. So as I had said right at the beginning, the process is open to any registered voter in the town of Hopkinton, which one of the prerequisites to being a registered voter is being a citizen of the United States. But as long as they're registered here, it doesn't have to be that they're registered by a certain date or anything. As long as they are already registered to vote, then they're good to go.
Excellent. Anyone else?
Yes, through the chair.
Please.
I just want to make sure the school committee has accepted these resignations. Is that, because they would have to be accepted before we can do this, right?
I believe that happened last night at their special meeting.
At their meeting, okay.
Mr. Deegan?
Through the chair, for elected positions, the resignation does not have to be accepted. The resignation was effective the moment that it was received by the town clerk's office. So once they got those letters in, that was when this process began. The process for if we were going to potentially appoint, because we didn't know what council was going to say on our timelines yet, was to make sure that the school committee could announce the vacancy, which is all that they had to do, so that it could be appointed by a joint session of the remaining members and the select board if that was deemed to be the best outcome.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Would you like
Through
me
the
to make a
chair.
motion?
Okay. No, go ahead.
Please, Mr. Tedstone,
I was just gonna make the motion.
go. Well, anyone else, or are we all good here?
I'd be happy to make a motion either way.
All yours.
Okay. So I move pursuant to Chapter 41, Section 10 of the general laws to hold an election to fill 2 vacancies in the membership of the school committee. Such vacancies having occurred due to the resignations of Joe Markey and Meg Tyler. Said election shall be held as part of the annual town election on the 3rd Monday of May, 2022, at an adjourned session of the annual town meeting. And further, to authorize the town manager to file a notice of said election in the office of the town clerk in the form provided to the select board at the meeting.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion that's been seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, we're going to take a roll call vote on this. Amy Ritterbush,
Amy Ritterbush, yes.
Brendan Tedstone,
Ted Stone, yes.
Mary Jo Lafreniere,
Mary Jo Lafreniere, yes.
Muriel Kramer,
Muriel Kramer, yes.
and Irfan Nasrullah is a yes as well. Excellent. So encourage interested people to please fill out your papers and get your signatures, and let's get this thing rolling. Love to see you on the ballot. So with that, I guess,
I would make
Amy,
a
I'm gonna let
motion.
you take it away.
Yeah, I would like to make a motion to adjourn. Oh,
Oh, I have a question. Is our next meeting Tuesday night in person or on Zoom?
I think it's hybrid. I think you can do either.
Yes, yeah, it's hybrid. You can attend in person. If anybody is not comfortable attending in person, they can attend remotely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will be attending remotely if I'm able to attend because I'll be traveling for business, just to let you know.
Okay, fantastic. So does anybody want to second Amy's motion?
Second.
All right, we have a motion that's been seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. We'll take a roll call vote on this. Amy Ritterbush,
Ritterbush, yes.
Brendan Tedstone,
Ted Stone, yes.
Mary Jo Lafreniere,
Mary Jo Lafreniere, yes.
Muriel Kramer,
Muriel Kramer, yes.
and Irfan Nasrullah is a yes as well. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. And
Thank you.
see you
Thank you.
Tuesday.
Thank you all. Thank you, Connor,
you.
as well.
Thank you, everyone.